This is David Moss with BIC Trikes. Once again, I've had a customer that bought an Outlaw kit from safewholesalers.com. He has a 2001 Honda Goldwing. I demonstrated before the differences in BIC trike rear ends and the safewholesalers.com Outlaw kit is. This kit right here, what you see, I've already got it all put together. Just put the tires on because everything else is welded solid. Plus these brackets right here, which remember this, let's go for pegs, stupid, flat, thin pieces of metal that you can see actually warp all over the place. Some of these connections here, which I couldn't figure out what the heck they're for. All that sent to him with the chrome rims and tires. He has $2,800 invested. Couldn't get it put on, couldn't figure out how to get it on. Called me after he seen my video, said he wished he'd have bought ours off the bat. And then when I got it, I thought this would be pretty simple. If I need to, I can change the suspensions. Now, I want to show a couple of things. First of all is, they don't box anything in, so you see that hole there. When they weld, they don't bevel any of the metal, so the welds stick way up. It's just two flat pieces of metal put together and welded on top, which doesn't get the penetration that it needs. Mine's beveled. It's 30 degrees on each side, which equals 60 degrees. When it welds it gets 100% penetration and is a little smoother than that. And then I can grind it flush for the looks on the top end. Got this grate over it. But here's another big difference in ours and theirs. I flip this thing over, you'll notice their suspension. That is a big, nasty suspension. What makes it even worse is they welded that thing solid from end to end onto this frame. So if the suspension goes bad, the whole thing's junk. I was looking at maybe taking it off, but I can't. Not without just destroying this frame, it'll weaken it. Once again, you'll see there's undercut and nasty big heavy welds. And then right here you can see no bevels. See it? Just flat piece of metal put together and welded with your big hole right there. So I told him I'd fix it, put it on his bike for $800. So he's going to have even more money invested in it. First thing I did is I put the rims and tires on. I did a measurement. The one thing that you want when you have these, if you put the tires up square and level, you don't want it to pinch in or move one way or the other. Well, this frame is not. On my table, the way I do my system, I have to keep this tape measure out, sorry about that. Mine are square and level. This one goes in. I think you might be able to notice it. It actually does like a C and goes in. So here, you'll see, if you attach the tape measure right here, and we take it to this end here, you will see that we are, zoom in there, let's see where that's at, 23 1/4, give or take. Right now, if you go up to the very top end, right here, this is what it's supposed to be. On the bottom and top the same. And you'll notice that this thing is 23 3/4. It's 3/4. So it's a 1/2 inch that it actually shrinks, which is going to cause the tires to wear and may even pull. Nothing I can do about that. I'll try when I do the attachment to push it out just a little bit. But yeah, that's because when they weld it, they just basically let the frame do it at once. They don't have a system to keep it straight. That's what my table and the way I tack and weld mine does. It keeps it straight. It took me a while to come up with a system. But nevertheless, so this is the Outlaw kit straight before I put it on the bike. The bike is right here on my stand. You can see that I've leveled it. See that? So we're going to put it on there. And literally, I'm going to show what it looks like before we bracket or anything, how close it is. Now, I have a video on YouTube of a 2002 Honda Goldwing, and mine, you'll notice that it goes underneath this right here, but no lower than the lowest part of your body. And you have a a toe pack and such like that, no big deal. This one here is too high. Since they welded it, I cannot do anything to adjust that. I also wanted to show the difference I said earlier between their suspension and our suspension. So their suspension look like that. Here is ours. That's our suspension. Now, this one here, you'll notice, a lot smaller, lighter weight. Doesn't weigh as much. It's 425 pound resistant weight. And as you can see, if you look at it, this thing is adjustable. See that spline? Just like your shifter, you unbolt that bolt and you pull it right out and you can move it up, down, back and forth a little bit within reason to make it where it goes lower or higher. There's a set, so they can't do that. And of course, you can see this one right here is numbers and such off of it, but this one right here is the right, left, and of course I've shown how he put those on, but I wanted to show a difference in ours and theirs. Now I'm going to do a lot of cutting for this video. I really suck at this kind of stuff, so my boys gonna have to edit a lot. But I'm gonna put this on the hoist, I'm gonna fit it up and see what it looks like before I can even do any brackets. I kind of did a rough fit earlier and it was just like blown away. So we're gonna go ahead and get it on the hoist and then you'll get to see what it looks like. Okay, we've got the track rear end kit just up and against it, holding to see where everything's gonna land. I want to show you. This is super close. I mean, look at that. And then the exhaust is literally at the beginning like a 1/4 inch, but as it goes down, like I said, it shrinks in more on this side, which I don't have to see what I can do about it. But see that? It actually almost touches the pipe all the way down, so it's going to get hot on that. And you can see there is no room for anything. And if you push it back, then the tires, which right now the tires are, the fender's going to be passed back. You can see it sticks out quite a bit. Lands right here. This is what I'm going to try to connect the front to, and then the back I'm going to build something back here. It's going to come down and go underneath the exhaust to bolt to be solid. But yeah, it's really tight, really awful, and that's not the worst thing. They got the same kind of fenders I have. So this came with the kit too. No hose, the way I get them. They have, I want you to notice, a hole there. A hole there. Somewhere. Oh yeah, right there. I don't know if I get it on the video, but see that hole? So that's what the fender's supposed to hook up to. There's also one on the inside of the tire a little bit right on this side. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. There's one. Now, if you put this plastic thing on here and you let it touch the tire completely, do you see any way that's supposed to blow it up? Maybe if you use those brackets, let's say this, which only has one hole in each piece, so I'm not sure if you're supposed to drill the extra holes or not, but even if you use these brackets, it's just going to be flimsy and just worthless. Look at that. That's just awful. So, and it would stick out that far, which looks stupid. So I'm going to fix that. And one last thing I'll say before I shut this off and do all the work and then bring it back, showing you what it looks like when it's done. My trike kit's on a Honda Go Wing, a bagger, any kind of bagger, Harley Davidson on, they're 60 inches wide from the edge of tire to the edge of tire. This is 55 inches. A couple of reasons why. My normal ones are 56 inches, which is an inch wider than this one is. But there's a couple reasons why I do 60 inches on the baggers. First of all, when you have that much weight, it actually will tip a tire up a little bit when you turn. Not your 90-degree turn, but just doing a turn around a corner will tip it. I test drove several of them, kept taking them out, then redoing it before I ever started doing this as a business. And one thing that I always had is if it was 56 inches wide, which this is not, and I will suggest to the gentleman maybe getting wider rims and tires, but it would tip. So I went to 60 inches wide after using my father-in-law's Honda Going trike as a pattern of how his is built. His is actually 63 inches. I built it 6 inches wide, and no longer did I have a tire tip up. And the other thing it does is, if I do this the way I do mine, because see this big gap that's going to add a lot of weight and it'll shake. This will be right about like this. If I can get it there. She's going to be closer. Sorry. Something like that, see? Which means if you look at it this way, there's not going to be that much room for you to open your door and get your hand in. But see, that's the other issue. Opening of the door, you just won't have a lot of room. It'll end up being right about here is where it'll be. So you just have enough to get your hand in, and that'll be it. But like I said, it's not my kit. So these are things I see wrong. I'm gonna build it, get it straight. Hopefully it'll go down the road straight, because the frame's not. I'm gonna push it out. He's paying me $800 to get this thing sturdy. And the only warranty I can give him is my welds that I do. This is why we don't buy safe wholesalers. There's no way that these connections could work. He took it to a shop, and they were just baffled. And look, thin metal, that's a heavy bike. It will sway back and forth. It's just plain out dangerous. So this is Dave Moss, BIC Trikes, just saying, do your research. If you can't get them from us, that's fine. Find somebody that's a lot better setup than this. This right here is what gives all bolt-on trike rear ends a bad name. People have accidents, or they're scared of them. They get rid of them. They think all of them are the same. There's a company called Trike that does a good job. There's a company called Voyager, of course. They're a heavier system, but it works well. This one does not. And I've also replaced a toe pack one that wasn't doing very well at all. It shook all over the place. So just remember that when you're doing this. I know not everybody can bring it to Indiana to get their bike done, and you want to get it done cheap, can't afford a real trike kit, then do the research. Just take the time. This gentleman, it would have been $4,000 to get a Voyager. He's going to be at $3,500 when I get done, and I would have spent the $500 extra to get the Voyager. Tell you the truth. Yeah. And then if he would have bought this from me, we would have powder coated it. Same rims, tires, but a chrome thing that goes over it. It would have costed him $2,250, and that's with it being put on and out the door. So like I said, just do your research. I appreciate you watching. We'll probably edit inside this video of it being finished, so you can see what it's going to look like. And like I said, this is not a BIC trike rear end. This is a Safe Wholesalers Outlaw kit rear end. I would suggest never buying from them. Thank you so much, and God bless.